Yesterday, you might have seen there was some controversy regarding Father James Martin again, because there was a man who came into the church at St. Paul the Apostle Catholic Church in New York City, Mr. Gio Benitez, openly gay ABC News anchor, but his sponsor to come into the church was his, air quotes here, husband. Let that sink in. So an openly gay couple, not even pretending, not ashamed, coming into the church, and Father James Martin there to give him the old fiducia supplicans blessing. Well, the hits don't stop there. Oh, yeah. Wait, there's more. There's much, much more. In fact, yesterday, standing up on the floor of the USCCB, Bishop Joseph Strickland brought this to the attention of all the bishops, much to their not so much liking. So have a listen to this.
But since we're in the area of doctrine, I don't know how many of us have seen on the social media priests and others gathered celebrating the confirmation of a man, living with a man openly, and it just needs to be addressed. Father James Martin, once again involved, great pictures of all of them smiling. Here we are talking about doctrine. I just thought I need to raise that issue. I know it's not part of any agenda, but this body gathered, we need to address it. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, Bishop.
Bishop Strickland saying the quiet part out loud. Here to talk about that from Avoiding Babylon podcast is Anthony Abbate. Anthony, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, Joe? How you been?
Praise be to God. I'm alive. That counts. How are you, my friend?
Pretty good. Just kind of soaking this whole situation in.
Bishop Strickland. It's his first, by the way, it's his first trip back to the USCCB since he was retired early out of Tyler, Texas. He told me a couple of months ago that he was going to be going back, and he wasn't sure if they were going to let him in the door. Well, it seems like they've let him in, and now they're probably thinking about that and wondering whether or not they made a good decision. The scandal continues out of New York with Father James Martin, doesn't it?
You know something? It's especially with Strickland. It's such an interesting thing. I was like kind of shocked to see him there also because of that. I wasn't like sure how they would react to him going. But if you remember, Bishop Strickland, right after the McCarrick scandal, I think it was in November of 2018, gave a similar statement when discussing McCarrick and talked about James Martin then in 2018 and said, homosexuality is something that if we're talking on doctrine, we have to discuss that a lot of my fellow bishops are allowing James Martin into their diocese and almost, it seems to be promoting him. So he's been calling this out for a very long time.
Yeah. And I don't know if you like how much you paid attention to that clip or watched it when it came out yesterday, but if you look at the faces of some of those bishops in the background, it's actually entertaining. I hate to say it, but it's true. I get a good laugh out of it. They cannot tolerate this level of honesty.
It was a similar reaction to when he mentioned it in 2018. These men, it's God bless Bishop Strickland. It's like because I saw some people saying like, oh well, sure he's brave. He doesn't have anything to lose anymore. But like I said, he has been doing this since 2018. I mean, he's been really, really putting the pressure on McCarrick. I think when the McCarrick scandal happened, I think that broke Bishop Strickland's heart because before then, I think there was. I think there was like I don't know if you call it naivete or something like that, but I don't think he realized how deep the rot went until that happened, and then that's when he started speaking out. And I think him speaking out in 2018 was the beginning of the end for him, that he dared to bring up the issue of homosexuality and calling out his brother bishops for James Martin back in 2018, and that was when they set their sights on him, and that is basically the beginning of the end for him in his diocese.
But how brazen is this whole bringing this openly gay man into the church? I mean, listen, I'm glad he came. I'm glad that he wanted to come into the church. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great. All sinners should come to the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, the one hospital for sinners given by God to mankind. But this idea that they can just be in this open homosexual relationship without any repentance, without any You know, like this is brazen. This is brazen in its protesting what Holy Mother Church believes and teaches. Like, how could where's Dolan on this issue? Why didn't Dolan stand up and talk about this?
Well, you think about the irony of them last week coming out with a statement saying it's always inappropriate to use the title co-redemptrix or mediatrix of all graces when referring to Our Lady because it could scandalize Protestants. But this, not a scandal at all. Don't worry about it.
No big deal.
And you wonder, like when even with you saying like, I'm very glad he's coming into the church, but like, what church is he coming into? That is not Catholicism. That man does not believe the Catholic faith. So this was a statement. It's like this wasn't actually about somebody coming into the church. This is about a press release and something that they could put in St. Patrick's Cathedral for the images to go around the world to show that this is the direction that the church is going in. There's going to be absolutely, because all of the conservative Catholics are outraged and they're like, he must receive discipline for this. There will be no discipline. There will be nothing done about this at all. This is just where we are right now. It's insane.
Are we living in a two-church situation here? Is there like this, bizarre, weird, schizophrenic split within the church? Are we talking about like a fake church and a true church? Are we talking above ground and below ground? Like, I don't know how to interpret this because this is, like I said, I use the word brazen because it is. It's very, very brazen. It's obviously heretical and they're doing it anyway. And they're doing it, like you say, just for the clicks almost, right? Like it's propaganda.
I always go back to the Cardinal Mueller interview with Raymond Arroyo when they were talking about the Synod on Synodality, and he came straight out and he said, we are talking about a hostile takeover of the Catholic Church. We're talking about a group of men who do not believe the faith having control of the entire hierarchy at this point. I don't know what you make of it. A lot of people call it the eighth of the church. I don't know because I'm not a theologian and I'm just a construction worker, and I try to just live a Catholic life, go to mass on Sunday, teach my children the faith. But it seems like the men who are at the highest echelons of the church do not believe the same faith that I do. That's just what it seems like. So
where's Dolan on this? Isn't this his territory? Isn't this his jurisdiction?
Dolan is the consummate politician. Dolan, he's an interesting guy. Dolan, I don't know. He's like he will come out and be staunchly pro-life one day. He'll support the traditional Latin Mass, and then he'll also attend St. Paul's when James Martin is there and go to a Pride Mass too. So I don't know. I think he's the Cardinal Archbishop of the diocese neighboring mine, and he confirmed my daughter in the old rite.
Really?
But he has it's very interesting. He came to my diocese and performed confirmations in the old rite a few years back. And this was after Traditionis. So I mean, look, I don't want to speak bad about him because he does do some good things, but he's not one to discipline. Let's put it that way.
Is St. Paul's like the known Rainbow Coalition friendly parish in New York City, or probably one of, I guess?
Yeah, it's one of. There's probably several of them. But, I mean, New York City also has Holy Innocents, and Holy Innocents is probably the best parish in the United States, if you ask me. They have daily Latin. It's like a bi-ritual parish, I guess you would say. Like, it has the Novus Ordo and the CLM, but they have daily Latin Mass. They have a high Mass on Sunday, a low Mass on Sunday, and then they also have the Novus Ordo there, and it's usually celebrated ad orientem, no altar girls. It is the unicorn Novus Ordo that they have there. But they also have confession 3 times a day, 7 days a week. If there was ever a parish that should be like the pinnacle, like the emblem of what every parish should look like, that would be it.
You know, I'm just thinking about Bishop Strickland yesterday in that clip, and when he's done, it literally goes for like 40 seconds. He says what he says, he's done, and then they pan up to the head table there, and they're Like, oh, okay, well, all right, thanks, Bishop. Moving on. What's next? Tea time, crackers. What are we doing next? Like, like is the petting zoo set up outside so we can take a break? I mean, like they couldn't have cared less, Anthony.
This is why I don't know who gave him the title, but it was kind of like just a loving title that they gave Strickland, which was America's Bishop. I think he is the only. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I do love Archbishop Cordileone. There's a few that are very good, but there's no one like Bishop Strickland who actually comes out. You know that man believes the faith from the depths of his heart. You know that he is heartbroken at what he is seeing right now. Yeah. Even when Pope Leo was elected and everybody was super hopeful, I noticed that Strickland was coming in very measured and trying to be realistic about the situation. And then as things are unfolding, I see Bishop Strickland continuously and steadily calling out things that he sees as very problematic. And he knows, just like we all do, this ship is not being turned around under Pope Leo. It is marching straight on. It's just got a little bit of a better veneer to it than it did under Francis. But, I mean, as far as I can tell, the nuncio just came and told all the bishops that you guys better get in line with the Francis reforms.
Vatican II.
Forward. Yeah.
the gift that keeps on giving. It's not done giving, apparently. It's still the path forward, Anthony. You're a youngin'. You're still pretty young. Any hope that your generation, who knows, maybe there's a pope within your generation in the future that will is there any hope for the clergy of your age? Do you think that they will turn things around?
This is an interesting conversation. It happens all the time. Everybody talks about how the priests in seminary are conservative and we just have to wait it out. But I don't want to black pill everybody, but you have to think about what's going on. You have the men that are in the positions of authority. Yes, there are conservative priests that are younger, but there's always going to be liberals in that group. And the men that are in power now are only going to elevate those liberals. So it doesn't matter if 90% of them are conservative. The ones that are liberal, they'll be the ones that get elevated up to the bishop, to the cardinal, and then I don't see how it gets fixed just through time and things like that. I think that the problem is beyond human repair at this point. I fully believe we need divine intervention to fix things.
Divine intervention. Whew. That was sort of mentioned in the gospel today. I'm telling you. Things are adding up. Anyway, Anthony Abbate, thank you for your time today. Avoiding Babylon, check them out.
Did you like that video? It's okay. You can admit it. It's perfectly fine. Hey, we cover the big stories of our day, from inside the church to outside the church to all points in between, and we do it from a Catholic perspective. It's called A Catholic Take. It's a radio program Monday through Friday. We live stream it right here on this channel, by the way, so make sure to subscribe, like, and share. We would be very grateful to you. And don't forget, you're going to want to watch this video right here because you don't want to miss anything.